in the vast, deep forest of Hyrule. Long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces, even now, are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now, find our young friend, and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee. Hello, Link. Wake up. The Great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up. Hey, come on. Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? You finally woke up. I'm Navi the Fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going, right now. Greetings everybody, Ocarina Games Online. Welcome to my new Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. One of most people's favorite Zelda games. I wouldn't really say it's my favorite Zelda game, but I still like it a lot. And it is definitely up there as at least one of my favorites. We're here in the Kokiri Forest, which appears to be our hometown of sorts. Yoo-hoo! Hi, Link! See what you have to say now. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. This is Link's childhood friend Saria. And she will definitely be important later. And I guess I use the term childhood loosely as Link is, well, still a child. Anyways, moving on through, we can find money lying in grass. We have rupees, the traditional Zelda currency. If you play a Zelda game, you should know what a rupee is. But if we jump here and jump again, we get a blue rupee, which is worth 5 rupees. Now, going over basic controls, I'm doing this for the sake of those people who have not played a Zelda game, which, if that's the case, I feel very sorry for you. Analog stick to move. A button to do a variety of actions, such as rolling, picking up stones, and most importantly, throwing stones at people. Aha! Oh, I missed. Whoops. Okay, but anyways, it kind of gets across the point. The A button's basically your action button. And this game actually introduced a feature that was pretty innovative at the time. It's common knowledge now, but it was innovative at the time, considering this is a Nintendo 64 game, which I'm actually playing this on a Nintendo 64. But I'm not going to get sidetracked too much. That innovative ability is the ability to lock onto objects with the Z button. Press Z, you can lock onto objects, like this. And we can use this to do a backflip. Essentially, your way of jumping. I would say it was the first game where Link could jump properly, but it's actually the third. The first two being Zelda 2 and Link's Awakening. But, that aside, and it's not even really a proper jump, you'll find yourself not really using that jump that much. But, moving right on along, you might... Oh, guess I'm gonna get interrupted. Hi Link, look this way. This also gets across what I was talking about with Z targeting. You can use it to lock onto characters, like such. And if it's someone you can speak to, you can speak to him from a distance. Yes, that's how you use a fairy. So great you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy. When a fairy flies near a person or thing, press Z to look in that direction. If you use Z targeting, you can talk to people from a distance, like we're doing now. When you have nothing that you can target, you can press Z just to look forward. Try it. So yes, if you have nothing to target, you can press Z to center the camera. Very handy to keep in mind. And Navi has been going crazy with that whole C up thing. If you press C up when that Navi is flashing, then you can get some advice. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please, come with me. And this brings up a problem with a lot of people. The fact that Navi talks too much. And my thoughts on that personally is, while it probably could have been toned down a bit, it doesn't feel like it's that bad to me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just, like, patient. Which, I doubt that's the case, because that is a lie. But whatever it might be, I personally don't find it that much of an issue, even if I don't really need the advice. It's also because that Navi has gotten the nickname Nagi. But, I'll leave that up to you whether or not you think that nickname suits. When that's not flashing though, if you press C up, you can go into a first-person mode and look around. Which is also nice. So, let's go see the Great Deku Tree now. Hey you, Mr. No Fairy, what's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. What, is having a fairy the same as having a... Never mind. I'm not gonna finish that statement, because this is an E-rated game. What? You got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mito? This isn't funny. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and a shield ready? What? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but... If you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. Alright, so we have our goal at least. We need to get a sword and a shield. Where we're going to find both of those, we'll find out. Let's start with the shop here. That might be the most logical place to look. How did I know this was a shop? Well, I walked in and it said Kokiri's shop, so there you go. We have a shield here, which costs us 40 rupees. We've only got 11 now. We've got Deku Nuts, Deku Sticks, arrows, Deku Seeds, and recovery hearts as well. The arrows, you will not need to worry about for a while. You also won't need to worry about Deku Seeds at the moment. If you feel the need to, you can grind for some Deku Nuts and Deku Sticks, but you're going to be finding those normally later on anyways, so I wouldn't waste the money. And actually, before I forget, because this is something I commonly forget, if you walk back here, there is a hidden blue rupee, so now you're a bit closer to being able to get that amount of money you need. Another thing that's nice, this blue rupee always respawns. So if you need to keep coming back here to get this blue rupee, that's a handy thing to do. But one thing we're pointing out, if you end up missing the jump, so like if you step on the first platform, then you step off of it, you have to reset the screen to get that blue rupee because it will not appear for you. And this is Mito's house, by the way, so he's going to be a jerk to us and not let us go see the Deku Tree. We're going to be a jerk to him and steal all his money. Sounds like a good payoff. Get it? Because we're getting money. And here we get a recovery heart, which brings us to the life part of this game, with how much life you have. Once again, if you haven't played a Zelda game, I feel sorry for you because this is in pretty much every Zelda game. Those 3 hearts in the top left corner, that is your life. Run out of those hearts, it is game over. So, try not to die. That's my word of advice. There is also a counter on the title screen, or not really the title screen, but on your file, saying how many times you've died. So, I'm going to try to go for a death run, because we have a Let's Play curse, which, if you're not familiar with the Let's Play curse, you can practice that game as much as you want to. When you start recording, you start sucking terribly. I can't guarantee no death run. So now we're done being Indiana Jones and dodging that border. Let's go get ourselves a golden idol. It's not quite that. You got something not nearly as valuable as a golden idol. We got the Kokiri sword. Wish I could sell this. Just like that golden idol. Okay, enough about that. It's a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Yeah, borrow. Like we're gonna return it. So now we have a sword, which we don't have equipped. So this brings us into the menu screen. You have 4 areas of the menu. You have your map, where you can see everywhere you've been. Right now, we've only been to the Kokiri Forest. It'll also tell you where your current position is. We have your quest status, which is general items that you have. Equipment, which is your sword, your shield, your tunic, and your boots. Now we have a sword, we gotta equip it. And we have your items, which you equip to your C buttons, which are those 3 orange, yellowish buttons in the top right corner. And if you press B, you can save your game if you want to, but because recordings seem to fail on me a lot, I'm not going to save in the middle of recording. Now, while I'm going to go get the remaining money we need, I want to talk about one other thing, the mini-map. In the bottom right corner, you can see a mini-map. If you press the D-pad, it might be because I'm crawling through here, or maybe it's L. Okay, if you press the L button, you can toggle that mini-map to turn it on or off. So if you don't want it for whatever reason, then you can turn it off. Now you're going to notice 2 arrows as well on your mini-map. A red arrow and a yellow arrow. Maybe it's supposed to be green, but either way. The yellowish-greenish arrow that's moving shows where you are currently. The red arrow shows the last door you went through, so in this case it would be Mito's house. But, with that explained, we now have enough money to buy ourselves a Deku shield, so we're going to do just that. Go ahead and equip it, which we need to do once again. Press R to crouch and defend. If you press R while Z targeting, I can explain all of this myself. So, let's go ahead and switch on over here. Equip ourselves a shield. I'm going to do that while force of habit. You can just press start to save that, to skip that save menu. But, I'm probably going to keep forgetting you can do that. So now we have a sword and shield. Let's go over combat. B button's your sword. And you can do a horizontal or vertical slash. Really, it doesn't make a difference which of the 2 you do. Basically, horizontal slash is staying still, vertical slash is while moving. If you hold down the B button, you can do a spin attack. Otherwise, if you rotate the control stick and press B, you can also do a spin attack like that. If you hold Z and press A, you can do a jump attack. Jump attacks and spin attacks do more damage than regular horizontal or vertical slashes. Now we've talked about the sword, let's talk about the shield. Press R to put up your shield. You can move your shield around. However, if you hold up your shield while you're Z-targeting, you can move around. And finally, if you try to use your sword while you have your shield out, you do a little stabby stab. Stabby, stabby, stabby. And that about covers all the tutorial stuff. I don't feel like I needed to cover it, but more of an insurance policy than anything. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Well, we did. Yeah, what's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still... I have a sword and you don't. I can chop off your... You know what? Gotta keep the ESRB rating intact. Don't want to mess with that. I, the Great Mito, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot, how did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? So he's basically that typical elementary school bullying. Or like that elementary school bully, essentially. I know all about bullies. It was a common problem at my elementary school, but let's not harp on that too much. Let's move forward, and we have ourselves these things. Those are Deku Babas, and we basically snap off their neck to use as a Deku stick. Which, Deku sticks. They are more powerful than your Kokiri sword. However, you only have a limited quantity. If you hit anything with the Deku stick, your stick will break. So, I personally prefer to use the sword more often than in that case. I believe the Deku stick is, 4 times as powerful. I might be wrong about that, but in any case, it is still good to use as a weapon if you want to. It does have another use, but we won't be seeing that for a little while longer. Anyways, we made it. Great Deku Tree. I'm back. Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, you see up to listen well to her words of wisdom. With that, we now have the ability to enter the Deku Tree to hopefully break his curse. However, we made a lot of progress in this episode. We got our sword, our shield, got past Mito, and met with the Deku Tree face to face, or face to tree. Next time on The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, we're going to be entering the Deku Tree. See about breaking this curse of his. Let's hope it won't be in vain. See you guys then.